All right, so welcome back to the video, guys. Back to my 4 or 5 part series. I know it's going to be a little bit of a long series. I do tend to go in circles and kind of go on tangents when making videos, but all of it serves a purpose because it all ties back to the main idea of what constitutes a healthy meal. So I did get distracted in the last video. I had my girlfriend texted me, so it was a bit of a distraction. I love her very much. I just have to turn off all my social media while I'm recording because it's just going to lead to a whole cascade of distraction, and I really lose track and thought easily because I'm very focused on my immediate surroundings. So again, so we're talking about what constitutes a healthy meal. We're talking about the food plate. What is it? So 50% of your food should be non-starchy vegetables. Now, the question is, why should I eat 50% of my plate with non-starchy vegetables? Well, there's 3 benefits that can help you with this. So number 1, it's going to clear up your skin. So how the heck is it going to help clear up my skin? Well, that's a good question. It's going to help clear up your skin because it's going to start adding more nutrients in your diet. Now let's take a typical Canadian or American or somebody who is in the Western world who's primarily eats a lot of protein and carbs. You know, maybe for breakfast you have 2 eggs with a couple pieces of toast and butter or jam and peanut butter. For lunch you have mac and cheese, and for dinner you may have pasta with meatball and spaghetti sauce. And throughout the day you have a lot of snacks, maybe a lot of dairy snacks, a lot of chocolate bars, or a lot of cookies or whatever. Or maybe you're like, I'm gonna eat healthy and I'm gonna add almonds to my diet, which is okay, which is good. Almonds and chocolate, nothing wrong with that, as long as you're getting good quality chocolate. But even then you can kind of cheat sometimes, or treat yourself, as I like to say. Treat, don't cheat. And it should be something that you reward yourself, not punish yourself because you're going astray. So treating yourself is better than cheating yourself. That's I'm actually gonna put that down. Treat yourself versus cheat yourself. So I really like that concept. So you want to be treating yourself versus cheating yourself. So it's going to help clear up your skin. So again, back to my example of having the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A lot of that diet is going to be high carbs. It's going to be maybe a small amount of protein, but a lot of carbohydrates in the diet. And if you're eating a lot of carbohydrates, now this can vary from person to person. That's kind of why I'm giving you a very general blueprint, because excuse me, when it comes to, I don't have COVID. When it comes to eating a healthy meal, you want at least 50% of that meal with non-starchy vegetables. Now, why do you want non-starchy vegetables? Well, there's a few benefits to eating more non-starchy vegetables. Number 1, it's going to curb your digestion. So what does that mean? It means that a lot of times when we eat a high starch meal or a high protein meal, particularly one that's high in starches, it spikes blood sugar levels in our body, making us more hungry a lot more faster. So by eating more non-starchy vegetables, it's going to actually lower that spike, and it's going to give you a more steady release of energy throughout the day versus those massive spikes and crashes you would get with a high sugar diet, such as if you were having a Tim Hortons bagel for breakfast with a coffee, extremely spiking when it comes to energy and sugar levels. You're not getting enough protein from the cream cheese. Adding something like a couple hard-boiled eggs or some almonds or just some kind of protein in the morning is going to help a lot. You might get that initial spike of energy, but give it a couple hours and I can guarantee you're going to start reaching for more sugary foods just because you've started off your day with more high starchy vegetables. I start my day off with a soup that has a lot of vegetables, has some protein, and a balance between non-starchy vegetables and starches. Now, if you eat more of that more regularly, you're going to not be eating as much. You may even add a piece of toasted bread, 1 or 2 pieces. Now, if you're insulin or carb sensitive, maybe just don't add the bread. If you tolerate carbohydrates well, maybe add 1 or 2 slices of bread. So because you can tolerate more carbs, you can eat more, and eating more carbs actually gives you more energy. So again, carbs aren't bad for you. It may give you more. Some people may actually do better eating more carbs, but some people actually may fare off worse by adding carbs to their diet. But generally speaking, that soup analogy, you have that balance of non-starchy vegetables. So maybe you have kale in there, you have sweet potato, You have some kind of beans or some kind of mixture of non-starchy veggies with like a couple pieces of turkey breast or turkey thighs, and then you put it in water and you cook that for like an hour, hour and a half, let it simmer. You can add some quinoa or some sweet potato or some potato as your starch, or you can have rice on the side, or you can just have it without rice. But I would add maybe a little bit of sweet potato, even if you're like kind of carb sensitive, just a little bit, just for a little bit of flavor, because you don't want to like completely go zero like with the keto diet. I know some people who are in the keto diet, their tolerance is like 100 to 150 grams of carbs per day, which is totally acceptable, especially if you're eating a lot of non-starchy vegetables and a good amount, healthy amount of protein and fat. It should be fine. But generally speaking, that soup in of itself, you have the kale, you have some frozen veggies that you just threw in there, or you have some corn, or not corn, sorry, beans, some pepper or some sweet potato. You have those four with some turkey, and then the quinoa, the rice, or the potato / sweet potato. It's gonna give a nice blend. You can check out my video, what are the 4 starches you should include into your diet for eating, for clearing up your skin. I believe that's one of my older videos. But again, that's your general meal, a soup, like something I would have for breakfast. Now that's going to give me more energy than something a bagel would have. If I did eat that, I probably, for my body type, I would add 1 or 2 pieces of toast, and I would add some berries because they're low on the glycemic index and they're high in nutrition. So that would be a healthy meal. That is like the mecca, the top of the pyramid when it comes to eating healthy. That's the best of the best that you can have. Really is. But as you can tell, a lot of the ingredients in that meal are all real whole foods, which is what I'm trying to promote, is having more real whole foods into your diet. So I have the turkey, I have the carrot, I have the kale, I have the pepper, I have the quinoa, I have the blueberry, I have some gluten-free whole grain bread, right? I have butter that's on my bread, which is again another whole food. It's just amazing whole food for you. Yes, it's dairy, but butter can be the exception. If you find that you're breaking out with butter, ease up on butter, maybe switch for coconut oil for a couple weeks and then go back to butter just to test it out. I love butter. I don't put a lot of it on my toast, but I use an organic grass-fed butter. Again, there's a lot of benefits to that. Great for brain health, great for organ health, great for your hair, skin, and nails. Again, really, really good. There are some dairy products I do eat, like cheese, but I do eat them in small amounts. It's not like I'm going to have a lasagna or a pasta salad loaded with cheese or nachos. Sometimes I will have nachos. I do like nachos a lot, but nothing like high cheesy, super high in fat. But this is something that you can consider when you're trying to clear up your skin, because those foods that are high in starches can elevate blood sugar, leave you on a cascade of ups and downs in your diet, in your daily life. And you'll feel that. You'll kind of may feel energy highs, energy lows. Again, your body's not quite satiated. Adding more non-starchy vegetables is going to give you a little bit of satiation, but it's most importantly going to give you the bulk of your diet, which should be vitamins and minerals. A lot of nutrition, and nutrition comes from plants, and plants give you good nutrition. I mean, plants, not like quinoa or potatoes. They are plants, but they're not non-starchy vegetables. They are starchy vegetable and a grain, which are not non-starchy vegetables. So non-starchy vegetables should be the basis. And just typically thinking, if you're going to have something like chicken breast or rotisserie chicken with potatoes and cornbread, for example, you go to Popeyes and that's what you order, then make sure 50% of that meal you add non-starchy vegetables. That way you're getting a balance of nutrition and you're getting a balance of vitamins and minerals. And that's really the basis of it, guys. It's so fucking simple. But that's why it's so important to emphasize eating more non-starchy vegetables, because that's going to give you that more stability throughout the day, and it's going to give you the vitamins and minerals to help clear up your skin. It's going to help start to revitalize you. I'm 29 years old, guys. Do I look 29? Not really, because I take good care of myself. Every time somebody asks my age, they always I guess lower, 21 to 23. Sometimes the highest I got was 24, which is still like, what, 5 years younger, right? And I'm not that old, but still, it's like people guess that I'm between some months. I thought I was 19, right? 19 to 24, so that's pretty awesome. So you get 10 to 5 years younger. So you're going to start looking younger. You're going to start feeling more. You're going to have more energy. I don't eat perfectly, but the bulk of my diet consists of non-starchy vegetables. And if you can get that concept down, if you can start applying that principle today, you will be on the right track. Now, you may not feel good for the first 2 weeks to a month. Usually it's the first 2 weeks, because if you have been eating pretty poorly, a lot of processed foods, a lot of hydrogenated oils like from cookies and pastries, and you haven't been eating well, you will have some detox effects, which your stomach might hurt. You might have really, really bad, intense gut pain, but that's just your body adapting and eliminating the toxins in your body. And you will feel some discomfort. So if you can initially get past that 2 week, what I call grace period of eating better, you will start seeing benefits and clearing up your skin on the right path. All right. So that's part one, the non-starchy vegetables, what constitutes a healthy meal. Again, 50% should be non-starchy vegetables. I really hope I got that point across, and hopefully you understand the benefits of including it into your diet.